Hi, this is going to be video 12, and really all this is just me jumping on real quick here to talk about some disinformation that I'm hearing a lot of here lately. Seems like every time I turn around, there's some post on some social network that is erroneous, that is big time erroneous, that can lead people down the wrong thought process. So I want to kind of kill a disinfo thing that I'm hearing a lot. Disinformation. And not necessarily the people that are saying this are doing it because it's disinformation. I think they're probably just not educated. A lot of them are just not educated. They use a lot of big words to make themselves sound like they know what the hell they're talking about, but they really don't. Every time I turn around, I hear that capitalism hasn't worked in the United States, and we should rethink capitalism. And capitalism obviously has failed. And we're not capitalists here. The Federal Reserve Bank has a monopoly on our currency, and that is it's a communist plank, but it's a socialist idea. That's social economics. After the Federal Reserve Bank bankrupted the country in 1929, after they closed up their doors, from one of my earlier videos, the Federal Reserve Act was passed in 1913. Now that's a monopoly. That's not a free market. If one private bank, has complete control over all the currency for the entire United States, then that's not a free market. That's a monopoly. In fact, that's what the plank of the Communist Manifesto is. It's centralization of credit in the hands of a central bank with a private monopoly. Those words are pretty close. I'm a little off, but that's pretty much what that plank is, and that is what the Federal Reserve is. That's communism, which is which is government, which is a type of government, and the corresponding economic program that goes with communism is socialism, and that's it's a socialist plank, and we've had that since 1913. And again, we've had nothing but wars since 1913, and a lot of really bogus laws since that happened too. We don't have a free market. We can't have a free market as long as one bank basically owns everything, and also other banks really don't compete. They're not really competing. They're all just tributaries of the same central bank, which is the Federal Reserve. That's why monopolizing the Federal Reserve is so very important. So when you hear people saying that capitalism doesn't work, they're lying to you, or either that, or they just don't know that we have not been capitalists since 1913. And really, our problems started. Some of our bigger problems started, economic problems anyway, started in about 1913. We didn't have these crazy fluctuations. I mean, basically, if you look through history, you'll see that. It was then when the depressions and everything started, is when we went socialist. They bankrupted the country. In 1913 they passed the Federal Reserve Act. I talk about this in one of my earlier videos. I think it's number 6 or number 7. I've titled it now. It'll say like Federal Reserve, the history of the Federal Reserve, or something like that on the video. But they bought up everything with their notes, and then it took them about 16 years. They passed the Federal Reserve Act in 1913. It took them about 16 years to buy up everything with their notes, and then they cashed in on the debt in 1929. And then after 1929, they were able to sell people after the banks closed up their doors. They were able to sell people on even more socialist programs, because that's when the New Deal came out. That's when they came up with Social Security and all these other programs that came out. So when people are telling you that, hey, capitalism didn't work, we haven't been capitalism. If anything, what's happened is we've shown that socialism, communism doesn't work, or actually it does work. It works for our King Obama and Queen Michelle that we have now, these kings and queens that we supposedly have. You could say that we have democratic elections in this country, I suppose, but mostly that's due to a lot of propaganda, and that propaganda is beginning to break down, hopefully, and people are beginning to wake up. More and more people are getting wise to this. So When people are saying, free markets don't work, we've never had a free market in this country since 1913. As long as the main bank has a monopoly, monopolies aren't allowed in this country. And as long as you have one bank that has a monopoly, there's no such thing as a free market. That's not a free market, and that's a major issue that I talk about on these videos. So if you're hearing people, I'm hearing a lot of that online now about, capitalism doesn't work and we should go even more socialist, and they're sending you down the wrong path there. I'm not saying that we have to get rid of all social programs. I think there's a better way to handle the program, a better way to handle helping the poor than by passing a law to do it. There's a better way. And I go into that a lot on the earlier videos. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this short so I can upload this real quick, just to dispel that little myth. And you're welcome to check my facts. My facts are accurate, just so you know.